Hello everybody, this is Nancy from the Summer Weekday Batch. I know you guys probably think I'm falling off of the edge of the earth. I didn't make any videos last week because, well, we didn't have any homework, so I really didn't have anything to make a video for. Plus, it was just kind of a really... I took advantage of the fact that I didn't have homework to kind of rest my brain a little bit because we've been going at such a lightning pace. I was brain fried, and I honestly didn't want to look at any arrays or anything, but especially not arrays. So, as a consequence of that, I did not do as well on the test as I thought I should, and I'm spending a lot of time now reviewing stuff before I finish up the homework. I'm working on it, but I wanted to go through one thing that I know we have to do, which I think will probably kick everybody's butt, and I literally have spent like the last 3 days reviewing videos, going over the any old videos that I have, like arrays and functions, not functions, but arrays, and how to convert to a string to a double and stuff like that, because I needed to refresh it in my mind. We're going over so much information, and I'll go through a lecture, and it's like I'm going home at 11 p.m. and it's fresh in my brain. I think, wow, that's really cool, it's super easy, and wow, that okay, it's logical. And then we go into something else, and you don't think about it for a week, and then a week later, I have no idea how we did it or what I did. And I'm struggling with a couple of elements of this week's homework. So I was re-watching some videos, and one of the things I came across was how do you get rid of the comma and the dollar sign whenever you capture a dollar amount, for instance. And the example Jay did that I watched and I kind of cloned was from Edmunds.com/calculators. So I just kind of rebuilt an original script here. We've done Edmunds.com so many times. I'm just gonna go over this super quick up top. So option explicit, system close process by name, system run, dim my variables, and I'll get to what each of those is. Set browser, blah blah blah. Okay, so then the stuff that I had to capture using Object Spy was setting the price, the monthly price that I can afford to pay, and then clicking to get to the second page. Then on the second page, I didn't change the zip code, I didn't change the interest rate, so the only things I had to add in on that second page were what is the amount of your trade-in, how much do you owe, and what's your cash down payment going to be, and then click on the button. And then we had to do GetROProperty to figure out the inner text of the result of this. Now, before we get to that, after I did click, I put a wait 5 because it was taking a second between the click for it to calculate and come up with these numbers at the bottom of the page. And then when I tried to get GetROProperty on them, it wasn't getting it because it was too fast for the page. So I ran the script, and it populated the stuff that it needed to populate, and it came up with this. So what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to get a number, and then we're supposed to strip it of this comma and this dollar sign. So it's a two major step process. Each step has little baby steps in it. So the first one is GetROProperty, and then we're going to capture this element using Object Spy. And that's pretty straightforward. We've done it multiple times before. And that's this right here. Okay, so maximum price is equal to my browser.web element, and then I captured the properties and values to uniquely identify that thing, and then I say GetROProperty inner text. And the reason we're getting inner text is the inner text is that value that holds the dollar amount of what your maximum TMV price will be. And obviously this will change if our stuff up here changes because it's a calculation. So you should be with me insofar as that goes because we've all done it multiple times. So what we have to do is we have to strip out first the comma and then the dollar sign. And I did it in this order for a purpose. I tried doing it stripping out the dollar sign and then taking out the comma, and it just didn't work. So we have to use the split and the join function, and it's a little complicated, but it's not complex. So what I did, and you could use max price for everything here, but I just did max price 2, max price 3, max price 4. So going through the first step, have this. Going through the first step, we have to split. So the inner text here is going to be this number here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split it on the comma. And that means that we take the comma away. And then we're going to have an array with two different elements in it. And one element will be $30 and the other element will be 400. All right? So let me see if I can get a print of that. Print max price 2 0. Print max price 2 1. Because when we do a split, we create an array. This is not an array. This is a string. This is just max price 2 is whatever what we are capturing here with this mess. So we're capturing what's inner text, which is going to be this dollar amount, and then it's put into max price 2, which is a string. And we're going to take that string, we're going to split it into an array holding two items. So we're going to take max price and split it on the comma, and the comma is going to go away. So let's go ahead and do that one first. Oop, not even done yet. Come on, you slow computer. Alright, so as you can see, if we look at our output, view output, drag it up, I have split the number 30,400 into an array containing two elements. $30 is in the 0 position, because remember arrays start at 0, and 400 is in the 1 position. Okay, I printed that out for you. Okay, we split it. Now I have to join it back together. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why it's so important to do it in this order. So the next thing I have to do I'm trying to avoid retyping everything. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is I have to take max price 2, which is my array, which has two elements, and I have to take those two elements and I have to stick them back together. And I want to stick them back together with no spaces in between them. So I'm telling this script, I'm saying, okay, give me something called max price 3, and do it by joining max price 2, which is this thing right here that's an array of two items, and then there's no spaces. It's just quotation mark, quotation mark. No spaces. And that means when they're joined together, they're going to be squished together with no spaces. Okay? So I'm telling it to take what I split apart and put it back together. The difference is we got rid of that comma, because that comma we use as a delimiter in our split, and so it goes away. It no longer exists. So now I'm going to tell you print max price 3. Now the interesting thing is max price 3 is not going to be an array anymore, because it's very hard. I was trying to figure out, can I split an array? So I don't want to do that. So I'm taking an array. I took a string and I split it into an array, and now I am taking an array and I am joining it into a string. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. Slowly but surely. And see, that's why Jay even told us about that. You saw the little wheel going there, and that's why you have to put that wait time in. Where am I? Okay, here we go. All right. Not sure how I got that. Okay, so the first time I did it, I got this, and I forgot to cancel it. No big deal. So the second time around, the one I just did, we did split and get an array consisting of 2 items, the first item of which is $30 and the second item which is 400. Then I did a join, where is it, to put those 2 back together with nothing in between them, and now I have them joined back together as a string, not an array, a string of $30400. I have done half of the job. I have gotten rid of the comma. The next thing I need to do is get rid of the $sign. So what do I have to do? I have to do another split. How can I do that, Nancy, you say? Because there's nothing in front of the $sign. And Jay showed us this, and he said it's okay. Even if there's technically nothing in front of the $sign, you're going to have an array. The 0 element's going to show nothing in it, but it will still split for you. It's no big deal. So all right, so I'm going to I have something called max price 3, which is not an array, which is now a string, a regular old string. So I'm going to tell it, split this thing max price 3 on the $sign and rename it max price 4. And then this time give me a message box of the final element, max price 4, which will be an array. And no, let's do it. I'm going to show you everything. Okay, we'll print first, and I'm going to print max price 4 0, print max price 4 1. So I'm going to show you that 0 is going to not show anything. It's going to show up as empty because there's nothing in front of that $sign that we're taking off, but we're stripping it, we're splitting it along the $sign, using the $sign as the focus of our split, and therefore it goes away. Alright, so we're going to do the split again, and then it's going to print out the split for me, 2 elements, one of which will be empty, and the other will be that number that we have left. And then I'm going to go ahead and print that as well. Alrighty, so you got my message box with the final number stripped of its comma, first of all, and then its $sign. And if you look down here in our print log, the first one was our split. We split along the comma, therefore the comma goes away, and it leaves us an array of two elements, the first of which is $30, the second of which is 400. Then, next thing I do is I do a join. I take that match price 2, and then I join it with nothing to split it apart. So it comes back together as $30400. Then I take match price 3, and I split it. And I say split it along the $sign. Oh, but there's nothing in front of the $sign. Nobody cares. It's still going to work. And then I said, show me what you got. So this right here is match price 4 0 position. The 0 position in the index. And then this is match price 4 the first position in the index. And we will have to do this twice on problem 3 because we've got 2 pages where we can get a captured dollar amounts on car prices for the website that we're going to be using. And this is once again an array. So we went from string to array to string back to array. And we're going to need this max price, we're going to need this array because you can take that and then write it into an Excel sheet or data table or whatever you want. I can't remember what we're supposed to do with it. And this is just me asking, is this an array, max price for the final thing we got after our split? So just in the name of being thorough, we're going to run this. There's my number, and true, it is an array. So we started with the string, which was this right here, and ended up with an array. So that is how you strip both the comma and the dollar sign from your dollar amount that you got by using GetROProperty. How we're going to use it, I actually haven't got to that point in the homework yet, so we shall see. That will happen in the future. And that's it for this one. I'm not going to let it go too long, and I will upload this and see what else I can come up with. Alrighty, take care everybody. Bye-bye.